Today, we are diving into the absolutely brilliant, sometimes bizarre, and always unbelievable world of the animal kingdom. We're going to uncover some of the most amazing ways that life has figured out how to survive and thrive on this wild planet of ours.
I mean, really think about it. How does life manage to hang on in the most impossible places you can imagine? When you look at the harshest deserts or the absolute coldest tundras, you have to wonder, how is anything living there at all? Well, the answer is in these incredible solutions that evolution has engineered over millions of years.
So, what do we even mean by adaptation? In simple terms, it's any trait, could be a physical feature, an internal process, or even a specific behavior that gives a species an edge. It's basically life's ultimate toolkit for survival.
And these adaptations, they generally fall into three main buckets. You've got the physical ones, things you can see, like sharp claws or wings. Then there are the physiological ones, which are internal, think producing venom. And finally, you have behavioral adaptations, which are the actions animals take, like migrating or hibernating. We're going to see some awesome examples of all three today.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how animals survive totally insane temperatures. Then, we'll check out some of nature's ultimate hunting tools. After that, we'll dive into the art of, not getting eaten. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at the big picture of these incredible engineering marvels.
All right, first up, one of life's biggest hurdles is just dealing with the temperature. From scorching heat to bone-chilling cold, survival means you have to engineer a way to handle the planet's most extreme conditions. Look at this number, -70 degrees Celsius. That's minus 94 Fahrenheit. So what is that? Well, get this. That is the temperature at which an Arctic fox finally starts to shiver. It's an almost unbelievable feat of thermal engineering. So, how on earth does it do that? The Arctic fox is basically a masterclass in staying warm. Its fur is the best insulator of any mammal, period. And its compact little body with short ears helps keep heat in. But the really brilliant part is this thing called countercurrent blood flow in its paws. Basically, the warm blood going down to its feet heats up the cold blood coming back up, recycling heat and keeping its paws from turning into tiny blocks of ice. Now let's flip to the complete opposite extreme, the camel. That famous hump? It's for storing fat for energy, not water. The real water-saving magic is somewhere else. For one, its waist is incredibly dry. But the most amazing trick is in its nose. It literally acts like a built-in dehumidifier, capturing and reabsorbing moisture from every single breath it exhales. Okay, so you've managed to survive the environment. Now you gotta survive the food chain. Finding your next meal is a life or death game, and these next animals have developed some of the most specialized and ingenious hunting tools on the planet. You've probably heard that frantic drilling of a woodpecker, but have you ever stopped to wonder how they don't give themselves a massive concussion? Well, here's the incredible solution. Their tongue is so long that it actually wraps all the way around the back of their skull, cushioning their brain from all those high-speed impacts. It's a perfect built-in shock absorber. How cool is that? And then you have the hummingbird, which is just an aerial marvel. Its long beak and tongue are perfectly designed to get nectar from deep inside flowers. But to pull that off, it needs a revolutionary way to fly. With wings beating up to 200 times a second, it's the only bird that can truly hover and even fly forwards, backwards, and sideways. It's a complete master of the air. So, how do you hunt when you can't see a thing? Well, the rattlesnake evolved a sixth sense. It has this special thermal sensor right in front of its eyes that lets it see the heat signature of its prey. It's like having built-in thermal imaging goggles, making it an absolutely deadly hunter, even in total darkness. What about this number? 270 degrees. That is the insane range of an owl's neck rotation. So why does it need that? Because an owl's eyes are so powerful, they're actually fixed in their sockets. They can't move them around. The solution? Just evolve a neck that can turn almost all the way around. You combine that with totally silent flight, and you've got yourself the perfect nighttime ambush predator. Of course, for every hunter, there's the hunted. The next big challenge is just, not getting eaten. So let's look at some of the most masterful defense strategies in the entire animal kingdom. The chameleon is a true master of deception. We all know it changes color for camouflage, right? But it also does it based on its mood. But what I think is its most impressive defense tool has to be its eyes. They can swivel independently of each other, giving it an almost 360-degree field of view. It can spot predators, or prey, from pretty much any direction. Now, the skunk's defense isn't just random spraying. It's a very deliberate process. First, it gives a clear warning, flashing those distinct black and white stripes. Then it postures, it stomps its feet, drawing all the attention to its rear. And only as a last resort does it fire that infamous spray, a thick, nasty liquid that can actually cause temporary blindness. That gives the skunk plenty of time to make a getaway.
What if you can't outrun a predator? Well, you go where they can't follow. And mountain goats are the undisputed kings of climbing. Their specialized hooves act like built-in climbing shoes, with a soft inner pad for grip and a hard outer edge. It lets them just casually walk up near vertical rock faces, leaving any danger far below.
The crocodile's design is just so simple, it's deadly. By having its eyes and nostrils positioned right on the very top of its head, it can keep almost its entire body hidden underwater. It effectively turns itself into a living submarine, just waiting, unseen, for that perfect moment to strike.
So, as we've seen, these aren't just a bunch of random quirks. Each and every adaptation is a brilliant solution to a very specific problem, engineered and perfected over millions of years of trial and error.
I mean, let's just recap some of the incredible engineering we've seen. The woodpecker's brain-wrapping tongue, the camel's dehumidifier nose, the rattlesnake's thermal sensor, and the Arctic fox's absolutely impossible tolerance for cold. Each one is just a reminder that for every single problem nature throws out there, evolution can engineer an ingenious solution.
And that brings us to a final thought. Adaptation isn't just ancient history. It's happening right now, all around us. In our world that's changing so fast, you really have to wonder, what new and amazing solutions are evolving as we speak? It's a fascinating thing to think about. Thanks for joining me for this one.